live, and you are looking at sold out MetLife Stadium, where today the 16-0 and playoff-bound New York Giants will be taking on the 0-16 Washington Commanders. And why are the Washington Commanders 0-16? Because they suck. And welcome to the Gridiron. Anybody out there at all going to spend a little bit of time with me here this evening? Thank you. I don't know if anybody's going to watch any part of the replay of this. Once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It means so much to me. Thank you. I'm going to try to go about 30 minutes here tonight, shoot my mouth off for about 30 minutes on the eve of, free agent. They can't sign them technically till Wednesday at 4 o'clock, but the legal tampering, let the freaking games begin. Holy crap, guys. It's like Christmas. It's like Christmas here, right? The legal tampering can go on, start tomorrow at 12 o'clock. Basically, it's been going on ever since the combine. Because you had the GMs there at the combine, right? You had the coaches, the GMs, but you had a lot of all the agents, but you had a lot of agents at the combine, little chatter, guys were talking, right? And when you got a GM and an agent talking, they're not talking about their golf game, right? They're talking about each other's, the agents, players, and all that and everything. So tampering's been going on for a while, but it's legal. It's legal tomorrow at 12 o'clock. So when I come on tomorrow night, 12 o'clock, when I come on tomorrow night, it's at 10:30. Going to be some stuff to go over, that's for sure. But let the games begin, guys. All right. So I'm going to try to shoot my mouth off for about 30 minutes. Anybody got anything to say? Please feel free. Fire away. Throw it in the chat box. I usually check on the chat box like every 5 or 10 minutes or so. So if anything gets put in there, I usually check. As soon as I see it, I try to respond to it as fast as I can. So please feel free. Fire away. Throw away in the chat box. Plus, it's nice to talk to somebody sometimes instead of just going on and on and on, rambling on, right? So please feel free. If anybody wants, before I get started, anybody wants to help support my channel out, it would mean the absolute world to me. In the description box below, there's the top link. It takes you to my membership page. I have 3 different membership levels, okay? The first membership level is the Saquon. The second membership level is called the Lawrence Taylor, and the third membership level is called the Gridiron. So if anybody wants to help support my channel out, hit the link in the description box, the top link, and it takes you right to my membership page, and it would mean the world to me. So thank you. If you are subscribed, or if you're not subscribed, thank you. If you're not, please go down below. Okay, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon. That way, next time I go live or put a video out, you'll be notified. And it's free of charge. What do you got to lose? Right now, I got 6,758 subscribers. So I said, anybody if you are subscribed to my channel, thank you so much. If not, I said, just go down below and hit the subscribe button and the bell icon. As I said, next time I go out, go live or put a video out, you'll be notified. And then finally, there's 2 links in the description box below. Okay. The top one, the 2 Facebook links. Okay. The top one takes you to my membership, my group. Okay. It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. Right now, we have over 2,600 members in the group. Basically, my YouTube channel, my Facebook group, and my Facebook page, it's all called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. It's all the same. That way, a moron like me, I can remember. I don't have to, what's my channel called? What's the page? What's the group called? I'm going to worry about all that stuff. It's all called the same. And I said, right now, we got over 2,600 members in the group. So go down, click the link, and become a member. And not only do I post stuff in the group, okay, it's 7 days a week. Every day I'm posting stuff in there. So not only do I post stuff in there, but the members post stuff in there as well, too. So between me and the members, there's a ton of New York Giants information every day that goes in the group. And then also, there's a second Facebook link, okay, which takes you to my page. It's called New York Giants, the Gridiron. But it's a page. Okay. I'm the administrator, so I'm the only one who posts in there. But once again, it's the same thing. I put stuff in there every day. I try to get at least 10 different things in there every day, whether it's a video, a post, a picture, anything, something showing some stats. Right now, we have 752 people who like the page, and there's over 3,400 people who are following the page. So click on the link for the page, the second one, and like it and follow it, and go to the top link and go to the group and become a member. And between the two, okay, you get a ton of New York Giants information every day. And as I always say on every video, if you're not satisfied, you get your money back guaranteed. All right, with all that stuff said and done, Sterling Shepard is coming back. Looks like they signed him on the veteran minimum. Looks like they signed him, which really, I without question, I think it's a wise choice. Now obviously he's going to be 30. Is he 30 right now? I know he was 29. Did he just turn 30? Let's see here. February, yes, he turned 30. He just turned 30. February 10th, 1993. So he'll be 30 years old coming up this coming season. Okay. But, once again, he got injured, right? But he got injured. It was the third week of the season, so hopefully he can come back, okay, from the ACL. Obviously, it was one of those things that non-contact injury. It was against the Cowboys. Basically, it was the Giants' last offensive play of the game. It was a pass that was going, I think it was to David Sills, if I'm not mistaken. I think he fell down. The pass got picked off. But, Sterling Shepard, as you see, when you see the camera just like, when the camera was focusing in on him, he just kind of like jogging out there, right? And before you know, boom, he's down. The season's over with. So let's hope he comes back, from that. In the 3 games he played, okay, he had 13 receptions for 154 yards. All right, but that's in 3 games. So if you prorate that out over 17 game schedule, that would be about 70 receptions he'd have. Okay, even if you look at a 65 game schedule, it's about 65, 66 or so receptions he'd have. That's not bad, right? 154 yards. Okay, so you prorate that out once again over the full season, right? That'll give him about 800 yards receiving. Okay, he had he averaged 11.8 yards a reception. Now it's a little skewed because he had the 65-yard touchdown against the Titans in week 1. So, if you take that away, he has like 12 catches for like 90 yards. All right. So, with a 7.5 yards of reception. Right. But so he does have that long one in there. Right. But anyway, he's had, there's the connection with him and Daniel Jones. All right. I said, hopefully he comes back. I'm not sure. Usually they say from the ACL, it takes you 2 years to come back to be fully healed or fully healthy, where maybe you're running around like you used to. So, he might be a little hampered this year. Okay. Let's hope he can stay healthy. But, he's being absolutely an asset without question. Okay. There's a bunch of articles. I got this one from Yahoo Sports. Says Sterling Shepard will remain with the Giants, the longest 10-year player on the Giants, right? On the roster from 2016. Okay. Person with knowledge of the contract talks told the Associated Press on Sunday the 30-year-old Shepard, okay, agreed to a 1-year contract at the veteran minimum. Oh, right. So, this is all basically low risk, all reward for the Giants. Okay. To get Shepard here for basically $1 million, win. Huge win. Not only that, but he's fantastic. Him and Saquon, right? Huge guys in the locker room, on the sideline, what it means to the team, the organization, all huge to have those guys back. It's freaking fantastic. Let's see here. It says, he played 3 games past season before he's tearing his ACL against Dallas and what seemed like a non-contact injury. I mean, he was just jogging, basically. He didn't even seem like he was running full speed when he was running his route. And then before you know it, he's down on the ground. The season's over with. So hopefully now they're replacing the turf. Maybe this might wind up helping him, right? Let's see. And obviously, he had surgery and he was a constant at the team's facilities for the Giants. He was like a cheerleader on the sideline, he had 13 catches, 154 yards, and 1 touchdown. He had the 65-yarder against the Titans, which wound up being a huge play for the Giants. So, I mean, to bring him back, I think really, 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 fantastic, absolutely fantastic to see him back. Now we're starting to get, I mean, I got a little piece to the puzzle, at least for this year anyway. Is he an all-out weapon? Or, no. But, right? I mean, we're going to get Wan'Dale Robinson back. Okay? We got Sterling Shepard, right? Daniel Bellinger, okay? Right? Isaiah Hodgins, okay? I mean, we're starting to get some guys here that, I mean, we still need. Now, I'm not sure if we're going to wind up getting a wide receiver 1 this year. I mean, the only way to really get a straight out dog would be you'd have to trade for one. I mean, like Hopkins, obviously T. Higgins, Ayuk. I don't know if he would be like a 1, but I mean, so I don't know if there's any, I mean, there's Beckham. I don't know if you want to call him a 1, but apparently from reports anyway, what Beckham was looking for is something close to about $20 million. So that kind of, you can forget about that. Giants ain't, I don't foresee the Giants dishing out 20. I mean, even if they sign him to a few-year deal and, the first year is kind of down, whatever is only like 10 or 12 million or something like that. I don't see the Giants going out and bringing him in. I mean, just don't see that. Obviously, the Giants are going to add a wide receiver or 2 in the draft, right? You don't know if he's going to be in the first round, second round, third round or so. But look, one of those top 4 picks to be a wide receiver. Okay. As I said, once again, is it going to be a 1? Nah, doubt it. It's going to be, I mean, interesting to see if Slayton winds up going someplace else. Chances are Slayton might make a little bit more money, maybe sign someplace else. I'm kind of surprised that, maybe they weren't trying to bring Richie James back. I mean, especially once again, like, maybe about $1 million. I don't know if he wants more than that. I'm not exactly sure, but at least for depth, having Richie James on, especially he knows the system and all and everything. Somebody can return punts, right? Especially somebody on the cheap, But we're starting, it's starting to fill in. I mean, obviously, you're gonna have to get more wide receivers than that. That's for sure, absolutely. But so look for the Giants to add somebody at least in the draft. I said one of those top 4 picks, okay. And it might be kind of the same thing as it was last year, I mean, but each year, we added Wan'Dale Robinson and Daniel Bellinger last year, okay. Look for it to add somebody else this year in the draft, okay. That and then possibly next year add somebody in the draft, or if there's a free agent out there, maybe the Giants could go spend some money in free agency, bring a number 1 in, maybe, right? But don't look for a number 1 on the Giants this year, right? I mean, but I mean, look for them to add to the collection of receivers that we have, okay? Some young talent, right? As I said, between Isaiah Hodgins, okay, Wan'Dale Robinson, Daniel Bellinger, whoever the Giants wind up drafting here, okay, in the draft. I mean, that'll give them like at least 4 nice young core wide receivers / tight ends. I mean, don't overlook the fact that the Giants could draft a tight end in the first round or second round. I mean, I don't think so. But or first, second, or third round, don't overlook that either, right? So, I mean, look for the Giants each year, maybe add a little something, okay? But, I mean, don't look for them to get the number one guy this year. But just to have Sterling Shepard back is absolutely fantastic. Now, the Giants, they got, their list of guys that they're keeping. And, so far, I mean, it doesn't mean that, that they're not going to try to re-sign maybe some of these guys, whatever. But, I mean, Matt Breida, okay. I don't know. I'm kind of like a little scratching my head why they're not trying to sign him or bring him back. It doesn't mean he won't, but they got Jashawn Corbin and they got Gary Brightwell, and now we got Barkley, and then obviously look for them maybe to draft somebody. I'm still kind of scratching my head why they're not trying to maybe bring Breida back. I mean, if they can get him back, once again, what they had him at about last year, I don't see why that, It just, I don't know. It's just you bring these guys in and have them for a year, and then you just let them go. I mean, I don't know. I don't know why they just don't hold on to just try to keep signing some of these guys. But I mean, look for the Giants quite possibly to add a running back in the draft. Okay, once again, probably won't be one of the top 4 picks, but look for the Giants to add somebody in the draft. All right, there's Landon Collins, right? Safety / guy he played in the box, right? Don't know, where he's going to wind up signing. The Giants certainly might wind up bringing him back. Who knows? Justin Ellis, don't look for the Giants to bring him back. Feliciano, they had between Gates and Feliciano, they had talks with the two. But, they're kind of running out of time here, okay, because before you know it, 12 o'clock, I mean, like with Nick Gates, he's a young guy, right? The Giants, I don't know if they're going to be guaranteed. I mean, if they maybe bringing Feliciano back, we'll have to wait and see. But, I don't know if they can guarantee Gates a starting position anyway. I mean, he can battle for a position, obviously, and the best man wins, but he might wind up doing a little bit better, maybe someplace else that might have a better chance of starting. And obviously that too. I mean, they could, another team might offer him $4 or $5 million a year, maybe 6, just throwing a number out there, as where the Giants might offer him only 3 or 4. So maybe Nick Gates may not be back. But I know they had contract talks with Feliciano and Gates, but obviously nothing's come to fruition yet. The Scottish Hammer, Jamie Gillan, guy could punt the ball. He could boom it. He's a boomer, right? But as far as like the touch, look for the Giants maybe, certainly doesn't mean they won't try to re-sign him. But once again, they're running out of time. But I would be surprised if they did wind up re-signing Jamie, that they didn't bring in some type of competition for him. All right. I said, once again, I'm saying Richie James. That's just kind of the guys had a nice season for the Giants. I mean, obviously it was a little bit marred by those 2 punts he fumbled against the Seahawks, which led to 10 points for the Seahawks. Right. But I mean, he was very, very reliable. Right. He had a decent amount of receptions, right? I mean, especially if you can bring him back, he knows the system. Somebody can return punts. I'm a little shocked that we're not trying to bring him back, but we'll have to wait and see. I mean, it's not a done deal with all these guys, okay? Tony Jefferson, I think with him, he's converting from basically from a safety to an inside linebacker. Now, I'm not exactly sure, how that's going to wind up fitting into like with Wink Martindale, what's he think of him now? He's more of a linebacker, right? Marcus Johnson, we have Colin Johnson. Okay. He had a good training camp. Okay. So look for, let me see here. I'm trying to think. I mean, Colin Johnson, I know he's not making that much money here. I mean, obviously, once again, he had a nice. Okay, yeah, he's making $1 million. Right, he had a nice training camp, and then he got injured. So hopefully he'll be back. So let's not forget about Colin Johnson. Nice size. Okay, So he was having a good training camp. Now, I'm not saying he was going to be an all-pro or anything like that, but another weapon, okay? Another young weapon. How old is he? I know he's just still kind of a baby. He's 25 years old, right? Looks like he'll be, he might be 26 by the time it's spent. I mean, still. We signed him to a 4-year deal. After next season, he'll be an unrestricted free agent. So, a lot of it depends upon him as far as staying healthy. Can he stay healthy? If he can't stay healthy, then I don't want to see him trying to go out and re-sign him. But let's not forget that we have Colin Johnson, okay, coming back as well, too. All right. And Casey Kreider. Let's see. Julian Love. I mean, I was going to be going over some of the, a couple of these guys. Julian Love, there was Darius Slayton. Be interested to see. The one thing is with him, some of his drops, just every now and then they get those dropsies, and they're just like, oh, dude, what are you doing, right? Fabian Moreau. I mean, the Giants, you could use some depth at cornerback. Now, they're certainly going to, I wouldn't be surprised if they drafted a cornerback in the first round, okay? So, but they need depth. I don't know why they wouldn't maybe try to bring him back. I mean, he certainly had some decent moments last year, especially if you're not using him as like the number one cornerback, right? He had some good production. A little shocked that maybe they're not trying to bring him back. Okay, so Darius Slayton, Julian Love. I said, yeah. I know they don't. I don't think they really want to go. I don't know. Because when Xavier McKinney is going to want to get re-signed, right? He's going to want his money as long as his hand can get strength back in it and all. Okay, as long as he can use it like he used to, right? I don't know if they're going to want to have like two safeties back there where they're paying one guy like $15 million, another guy like $10 million. I don't know if they're going to want to spend $20 to $30 million a year on a couple safeties. I don't know. I mean, because they do have Belton, right? Who they drafted. They can certainly draft another safety for some depth, right? But I know they're having some talks with him, right? Certainly have some talks with him. So maybe you can strike a deal with him. Jalen Smith, obviously, he was with the Giants the past 2 seasons. He's some good depth, and he wouldn't be that expensive, right? Hadi Jihad Ward, once again, nice outside linebacker. I know Martindale loves him. Says here, Martindale is still with the Giants, so it wouldn't be surprising if Ward, one of the veteran leaders in the locker room, which he was, and one of that had a big influence on helping Kayvon Thibodeau adjust to the NFL, also returns on a 1-year deal. So, like I said, just because they don't want him signing these guys as of right this moment doesn't mean that they won't want to bring him back. But they were starting to run out of time. I mean, if somebody throws some money at Jihad Ward, he could be gone, right? I had Nick Williams, who wound up getting injured. All right. He did a decent job, okay, especially against the run. He was one of the guys that could, spell Sexy Dexter at Leonard Williams, give them a breather for a few plays if they needed it. He came in, did a decent job. Don't expect like much as far as in the sack department, but, he did well. But once again, unfortunately, he got injured. Missed the season, a good portion of the season. Then you got Oshane Ximines, right? I mean, the 3rd-round pick in 2019 from the Shermer regime, right? He said here he's given a chance to resurrect his declining career under the new coaching staff, but was still unable to surpass his career highs in tackles, sacks, and quarterback hits set in his rookie year. I mean, I tell you what, after his rookie season, it looked like, he was, he might be a keeper. Not certainly saying he was going to wind up, being an all-pro or anything like that, but it looks like somebody, have some quality depth at the edge rusher position. But once again, I guess he's just going to be like Lorenzo Carter, right? Have him for those 4 years, and Lorenzo goes elsewhere, right? Same thing with Oshane Ximines. Get him for 4 years, and he goes elsewhere. I mean, it's not because let's not forget, Toman Fox. Okay, I had some playing time as in there as well too. So it says although the Giants could use some depth at edge rusher, which they could, they probably will look to move on from Ximines, who has never been a stout run stuffer, right? So I mean they need somebody. I mean, because we got Ellison Smith, right? Undrafted free agent Toman Fox, but Ellison Smith, he can't stay healthy, right? Toman Fox is okay, but I mean, you want somebody maybe a little bit better. Jihad Ward is a free agent. We got Azeez Ojulari, who's spent a lot of time injured last year, and we got Kayvon, so they need somebody at the edge as well too. So, as I said, just because the Giants, didn't sign any of these guys yet, doesn't mean that it's forget about it. They won't be bringing any of them back, but they are starting to run out of time. Okay. He said 12 o'clock tomorrow. I mean, right now we got 13 hours, and the festivities will begin. Free agency is going to start. Okay, they can't sign them pen to paper until the new year starts, which will be Wednesday at 4 o'clock. Okay, but right, that means 12 o'clock. Check your ESPN app. That's when things are going to start going down. All right. So then finally, we got some guys here. Okay. I don't know if the Giants, as far as like safety / cornerbacks that can help the Giants, free agent ones. Okay. I'm not sure, how the Giants are going to be looking, especially like with the safeties. I know they're trying to strike a deal with Julian Love. All right. It's not going to be big time. Okay, probably keep him around the $7 million, $8 million mark. They're going to try to, but we'll have to wait and see. But there's some cornerbacks out there. Now, the thing is with the cornerbacks, now you don't know what they're going to wind up doing with Adoree Jackson. This is the last year of his contract. Okay, he's expensive. Okay, he's a very good cornerback. He does not get interceptions. Okay. If he's your number one cornerback, you'd like to see a little more interceptions from him. But it is what it is. But what are the plans on him with him after this season's over with? Try to re-sign him, right? Maybe they could extend him this year, right? Maybe bring his cap hit down a little bit this year. Who knows? But you don't know what they're going to do with him. Okay, if they don't plan on keeping him around, okay, they got some holes. Okay. Aaron Robinson, can be promising at times, but can be injured a lot of times. All right. So I don't know, I don't know what they plan on. He's not wasn't drafted by Shane or Dable. They have no ties to Aaron Robinson. So the guy came in here after he was drafted. He had the core muscle surgery, so he missed a bunch of time there. And basically, ever since then, he's been, he's had some injuries. All right, so, but the Giants are going to need cornerbacks, right? That's one of the things against, like with Fabian Moreau. Why aren't you bringing him back? They need, some depth, right? And then if they don't wind up re-signing Adoree Jackson, they're going to need like a number one cornerback. They're going to need a number two, maybe cornerback, right? So look for them to get it, maybe possibly get a cornerback in the first round this year of the draft, okay? Because there's going to be a bunch of them this year in the first round that have first round grades, okay? Maybe not blue chippers or not like that, but they'll have first round grades. So look for the Giants maybe to hit that cornerback market. But if they get a cornerback this year and they let Adoree Jackson go, they might need another corner. There's a bunch of. There's Dean from Tampa Bay, but according to PFF, he's got a $17 million a year average salary that they're looking at. James Bradbury about bringing him back, but obviously he's going to want over the $10 million mark without question. And, he'll be 30 when the season starts. I don't know if the Giants going to want something like that, where, like a stopgap, or they're going to try to bring somebody in that they have for the long haul. Cameron Sutton, okay, with Pittsburgh. Okay, he's out. He's only 28. All right, he's had some nice years. Jonathan Jones from New England, he's 29. He'll be like, I think it'll be about like 30 when the season starts. I don't know if they're going to want to, once again, that old. There's Patrick Peterson. He's 33, right? Rocky Sin. He's 26. He'll soon to be 27. I mean, he's had some nice years from the Raiders. The PFF has him about a $9 million a year, right? Byron Murphy with the Cardinals, but they got him at about $12 million a year. I'm not sure, but he's young though. He's only 25, right? Marcus Peters from Baltimore, right? Once again, he has that connection with the Wink, all right? But he's 30. I don't know if the Giants are going to want to once again go that old. Shaquille Griffin. Let's see. He's 27. He'll soon be 28. Emmanuel Mosley from the 49ers. Once again, he's relatively cheap. He'll be 27. There's guys out there for a few $1 million. I mean, I'm saying the same thing like with Fabian Moreau. He wouldn't even be a few $1 million. I mean, I don't know why they wouldn't try to bring him back, but interesting to see. But I don't think the Giants are going to be looking for anybody. I'd be surprised if they try to get like stopgaps, because they're, especially right now, because they are not there yet, right? If they were like knocking on the door for the Super Bowl, then you can see getting a stopgap, like getting somebody like a James Bradbury, bring him in there. Absolutely. Somebody you're not going to have around for a long time, but maybe have him for 2 years. Okay. Maybe he can get you into the Super Bowl, maybe win the Super Bowl or something like that, where he's a veteran presence, but, somebody you're not going to have for a long time. So I would be surprised if the Giants brought somebody in who's older, that just for a couple years, right? But they are going to need to do something. They are going to need to address the cornerback position, especially if Wink Martindale is still the defensive coordinator, right? They got to have that press man coverage. You're going to need some good quality cornerbacks. So especially if Wink comes back next season and 2024, I'm just saying, and we don't want to do anything with Adoree Jackson. I mean, if we want to let him go, we don't want to re-sign him. We try to, I know, tough to say get younger because Adoree's not that old, but maybe try to get cheaper. Maybe go through the draft, right? Spend $1 million on a guy in the draft instead of $20 million a year to a veteran, right? Save a bunch of money that way. But the Giants are definitely going to need to do something with that cornerback position, right? But don't look for them to get any type of stopgap, because the Giants aren't there. Because by the time the guy, that'll help keep the Giants competitive. But by the time the Giants may be ready to knock down the door and go to the Super Bowl, whatever, that stopgap guy will be gone, right? So then there's the safeties, okay? Jordan Poyer, I mean, I've seen a bunch of reports, him being, obviously, because he's with the Bills, okay, from the Bills, okay? PFF has him 2 years, $8.5 million, okay? I think he's quite possibly a little bit better of a baller than Julian Love is, okay? But once again, Poyer, even though he's tied to the Giants, he's going to be 32 years old. Once again, I don't know, he would be kind of a stopgap. Julian Love, on the other hand, okay, is somebody that the Giants can wind up re-signing. Julian Love's going to be 25. So the Giants could wind up signing Julian Love. Okay, Julian Love can certainly even get a little bit better, right? But Julian Love is going to be 25, so they could sign him to a few years, and by the time that contract is up, he'll still be 27, 28 years old, right? So once again, I don't look for any of the Giants to bring it. I would be surprised if they brought in Poyer. I mean, because he would just be, he's going to be 32 if they sign him to a 2-3 year deal. Just saying. By the time the deal's over, he's going to be like 35 years old. By the time the Giants are maybe ready to go into the Super Bowl, Poyer's going to be like 35 years old and have to wind up trying to get another safety. So look for the Giants maybe to stick with McKinney and Dane Belton. Okay, those two guys. All right, so that's if they can't. McKinney and Belton, if they can't do anything with with Love. All right. But then, as I said, let's not also forget, they can pick somebody up in the draft as well, too. All right. I said, it's Jesse Bates. From the Bengals, but he's 26. But apparently, according to PFF, he might command $16 million a year. Okay. The Giants ain't spending those $16 million a year on a safety, especially this year. They have too many other holes, okay, that need to be filled. They said Poyer, PFF has him about $8.5 million a year, but once again, he's going to be 32. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson from the Eagles, okay, he's 25, okay. Same thing. He's only 25, okay. 3 years, $12.5 million, okay. Von Bell from the Bengals, right? They got him at 3 years, $8 million. He's 28. All right. Jimmy Ward from the 49ers. They got some free agents there that they're losing there, the 49ers. But Jimmy Ward, they get 2 years, $6.7 million. He's 31. He'll be 32 when next year starts. Taylor Rapp, right, from the Rams. He's 25. Okay, they got him at 3 years, $7.25 million. Right. So it'd be interesting to see what they wind up doing. But there are guys out there. There's guys out there. If they don't want up signing Julian Love, there are other guys out there if they want to upgrade the safety position. Have McKinney, Belton, maybe obviously once again draft somebody. Okay, and then maybe bring in a free agent for $4 or $5 million. There's those guys out there. So that's something they certainly could do. But as far as trying to go out there and free agency and bring in like a big time stud, safety, nah, don't see that happen. They have too many other holes that they need to have filled. I said they can certainly bring in. They have a couple safeties. All right, be interesting to see if they can get anything done with Julian Love before the 12 o'clock, right, strikes. Because as I said, it's like the Wild Wild West. Once 12 o'clock strikes, anything goes. So haven't heard anything yet on Julian Love as far as being signed. But I know they had contract talks with him. Right? I'd hate to see Julian Love wearing somebody else's jersey, but that's the nature of the beast. Unfortunately, it's a business, and you can't sign everybody. Unfortunately. So, that's why the Giants have, I think, like 15 free agents that they haven't signed yet. And, maybe they can sign a couple of them, but that's why that turnover every year. such a turnover. But anyway, guys, it's been 37, almost 38 minutes. Let me shoot my mouth off. Anybody spent any time at all watching? Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Or if anybody's going to spend any time at all watching the replay, this once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It means the world to me. And as always, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo!